Yo, is it Tuesday again already? Time for another studio update. Okay, let me see, I've got some new toys in to show you. I've had some new additions to the studio delivered. And then I've also been given something super exclusive that I'm going to unbox on camera and then give away to one of you lot. So yeah, lots to get through in today's episode. Let's do this. What is good, gang? I'm ToyCon and welcome back to a brand new studio update, Studio Toy Factory recap here on Slimehouse TV. So done quite a lot since I last caught up with you, starting off with exterior stuff. Now that the weather's getting better, now that we're moving into June and July, hopefully it's not like last year where for the majority of June and July it just rained and halted the progress of this building a lot. Hopefully, if it sticks to like the normal schedule of the weather, we'll have some nice sunny days over the next few weeks so we can do a lot more out here. So I'm really looking forward to getting all this patio done because it's still really muddy. I'm sick of walking mud inside this building, so yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully getting on top of that. One of the things that we've done on the outside here though over the last few days is started working on the drainage system. So since this thing's been done, we've just had a big trench dug all the way around this building ready for this drainage system to start going in, and every time it rains it gets filled up with puddles and that kind of thing. So we've added a pipe all the way around the perimeter of the building, a drainage system, and then filled it all with this gravel. So I've also got some nice blue slate that's going to go on the top of that, all reclaimed. All these pebbles have been given to us for free, so we've added all pebbles around there in that trench that's filled with pebbles, and it's going to have all blue slate on the top of it, which will look really nice when it's done. We've also got a load of that to go around the back of the building so that we don't get all weeds growing and stuff. But yeah, really looking forward to doing some exterior stuff out here because we've done a lot on the inside and the outside still looks pretty barren. Look, this is what I mean. I take my shoes off so that I don't walk all this into the studio. So anyway, as I said, in this episode, I've got loads to show you. We've had some new additions delivered to the studio, things that I'm going to be using inside this building. I've had some cool toys delivered that I'm going to unbox and show you, and I've got a really cool thing to give away as well. But what I want to do is show you what we did in the last episode first of all, because myself and Dave did some work in the storage area, and then halfway through that video, my dad found all those vintage toys in a skip, and the episode kind of became all about going through that, and I didn't really get to show you the fruits of that labour, should I say, the stuff that we got on with. So I'm going to give you a little recap on the last episode and show you what we actually built in this storage area, because it's been very, very handy and I'm very much looking forward to using this little area moving forward. So this is what I like to refer to as the messy area. So I've got all these nice desktops and stuff in here. I've got this, I've got something else to show you in a little bit, but I don't want to be ruining this, dropping paint on it, getting glue on it and that kind of thing. So it's nice to have a little area where you don't mind messing it up a little bit. If you drop a knife in it, if you drop something on it, if you get glue on it, if you splat some paint on it and that kind of thing, it doesn't matter. This is just scrap wood. Initially as well, I was going to have this as the spray booth area, but I've kind of changed the idea now. I'll talk about that more in a future episode, in a future bit, but I don't think this is going to be the spray booth area anymore. However, it is definitely going to be the messy area. It's just nice to have all this kind of stuff to hand, the glues, the spray paints, the brushes, the paint and all that kind of thing, and not have it on display in the main area, have it all back here. This is Perspex, so I've got a really nice Perspex backsplash on it and things, so yeah, absolutely buzzing with this little area. This is going to be my Warhammer board eventually. This is all going to get terrained and I'm going to use this as a board that we can play Warhammer on. There's something here that's covered up for a reason. I'm going to show you that in a future episode. If you've got me on Instagram, you might have seen that already, but that's exclusively saved for a future episode and I can't wait to get into that as well. Got more tools and stuff down here. These drawers are all full of materials, and this area is still a little bit messy. There's a lot of work that I still need to do in this little area, but all this stuff here is going to come in very handy in the future, and it's really nice to have it all in one place, so I'm not all over the house trying to find it and stuff. It's all in one area, all nice, neat, and for the most part pretty organised. Now this here is kind of dangerous. You'll have seen this in the intro to the video. This is a gaming chair that my dad got off a house clearance the other day. And I know I keep talking about how my dad gets all this stuff off house clearances, but he works in house clearances and he gets a lot of stuff for free. So I know that the majority of the stuff in here is going to sound like, oh, my dad got this off a house clearance. But he genuinely did. And why am I going to say no when he brings me around something cool? I also wanted a gaming chair in here, and I considered hitting up some of these companies that send gaming chairs out to YouTubers and stuff to do a review. But I'm not going to need to do that now. It's got a little bit of wear, but I don't mind. It's nice to give this thing a new lease of life. And the reason I'm saying it's dangerous is because, as you will have seen in the intro, you can throw this thing all the way back, you can pull this little footrest out of the front, and you can basically lay down on this thing. But there has been a few times when I've been in here and I've thought, do you know what? I wouldn't mind a little 10-15 minute kip. And I haven't done it because there's been no comfy seating in here so far. I have my other chair that I sat in when I did the big bot bash and some of my painting and that kind of thing. And it's pretty comfy, but you can't throw it back like you can this. Now that I've got this chair that pretty much goes all the way back, you can throw a blanket over yourself and you can sleep on it. It's going to be dangerous. But I'm really looking forward to all the work that I'm going to be doing sitting in this chair, or the lack of work, because I'm going to be sleeping in it. Who knows? We will see. This is also something super dope, and you'll never guess where we got this. But I've been after one of these for a long time. A kind of like snap-on kind of tool case. I didn't care if it were branded or anything like that. I just really like the look of them. They're also very handy. So when my dad found this the other day, my mum sent me a photo and said, "Is this any good for the studio?" You don't know that I was like, hell yeah it is. And I don't know where I'm going to put this thing. I don't know if I'm going to keep it here. I quite like it here. There's also some room in the little storage bit there where I could put it where the tools are and stuff. But I quite like it here. A lot of the stuff with this room is about like working in here for a bit. Working in the environment, using it, and then seeing what works and what doesn't. I'm going to put some shelves up on that wall soon. So I don't want those shelves to then make this area feel a bit more cramped. So until everything's in, it's hard to say where stuff's going to go for the, like where its final place in this room is going to be. But I quite like this here for now. It needs a bit of a clean up. I'm not going to do all that on camera. I'm going to give it a bit of a clean up. There's a couple of dents in here, like this thing opens. And it's a bit stiff at going in and out. You have to kind of go like that to get it in. So yeah, I'm going to work on knocking a little dent out that's in this bit, then just give it all a clean and then a little bit of black spray paint just to finish it off, make it look all nice and neat. And I don't know whether I'll put tools in this thing or just other stuff that I need to hand, like cables and my camera batteries and things, but I think it'll be a nice little thing to have here that's easy accessible when I'm working and stuff on the thing that I'm going to show you in a minute, because that's like the prize piece of this video. But yeah, shouts to my dad again for picking up all of this stuff. Like, he could have just got this and put it on the back of the scrap van and took it to the scrap yard and weighed it in, but he didn't. He said that I could have it. So yeah, man, big ups to my dad. Absolutely buzzing with this thing. Okay, let me show you the main thing I want to show you today. In terms of like additions to the studio, I've got something really cool. I can't wait to show you this. So for the longest time now, I've been talking about how I need a central podium table, somewhere that I can work at in the middle of the room. I've got my awesome flexi spot table here, which I love and I use it a lot, but that's a stationary desk. I don't want to be moving that around every 2 minutes. That has to stay there. So I've been for a long time now trying to find the perfect podium table for the middle of the room to work on. And I was going to say, I think I've cracked it, but I've 100% cracked it. Check how awesome this is. It is better than anything I could have ever imagined. Just check it. So check that bad boy. Now, this has had a few different things go into it to create it. It wasn't all made by one person. The bottom half was custom made by my dad's friend who's a metal worker. So shouts to Phil Beard for that, because he absolutely smashed it. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And then the top of it was made by our friend Kev. Our friend Kev, who you will have seen now as like a mainstay in the Slimehouse and Retro Ghetto shared universe. He's always popping up in our videos. He's very generous and he owns a factory where he makes the most awesome stuff. He makes signs for Dunkin' Donuts and Pure Gym and all these giant, big, massive companies, but every now and again he creates something custom for myself and Callum, and he's gone above and beyond with this. So I'm going to put the camera down and I'm going to talk through everything about this table, because there's a lot about it that's perfect. There's some things that we've got to change, but I'm going to do them in this video, and I'm going to get it to a point where this is the most perfect thing for working in the center of this room. And also going to review all the toys that I want to talk about in today's episode on it as well. So yeah, man, come we do this. So the first thing you might notice about this table is that it's got an LED all the way around the top of it. Now this is like a transparent piece of acrylic that's been routed, like a channel carved into it, and then it's got these LEDs in it. These are hopefully going to be the same kind of LEDs that are going to be fitted all the way around the perimeter of this ceiling. I'm still waiting to hear back from Dan when he's able to do that for me, but that's the same type of LEDs hopefully that are going to be put in there. The remote to change the colours of it, I've put in a safe place. Do you know when you put something in a place that's so safe that you forget where it is? But it's only in this room somewhere. It's in one of these cupboards, so I've not got that to hand. I'll move my my old school biscuits out of the way. Oh, I'll take these off as well. Shouts to everybody that bought a Turgo. Turgo is now sold out. I'll talk about that later. You'll also notice that it's bubble wrapped. The reason for that is because this is still not being drilled into this bit of metal here. There's a reason for that as well, which I'll talk about in a second, but it's still got its bubble wrap on because I just wanted to keep that on it until the last minute so that it didn't get damaged in any way. It's also got a removable tabletop. So this here Let me come round. So this is a piece of acrylic, as I said. Then on the top of it, it has this other thing, which I've got to stick down. That's not stuck down yet properly either. There's like another piece of transparent acrylic with a lip on it. And then he's done me 2 of these. These are replaceable like metal things, metal worktop plates that he's invented that have got rubber stoppers on, that when you lay them on top like that, they just stay perfectly in place. And this means that if I drop any resin on it, if I get any paint on it, if it gets scratched or anything like that, it keeps this part of the table protected. So that was very thoughtful of him, because yeah, I would have never thought to do that. So I've got 2 of these. I've got a white one, and then I've got another one which I'm going to paint black. So I've got 2 different options. So yeah, also something I would have never thought about, having a white top on this as well, but I actually really like the white now, so that's perfect. One thing that I do need to change on the top of this, if I, hang on, I'll lift this up. Let me lift this off. Take that off a minute. So this has a cool Slimehouse logo in the middle of it, which is awesome if I wanted a Slimehouse logo in the middle, but I don't, and the reason for that is because I want this black so that when I film a toy on it, let me just grab a toy and show you. Not one of these exclusive ones. Here, I'll grab him. If it's all black, you see when you film a toy on top of it, you get that reflection there on its feet. You get that reflection. You don't get that when it's white. So all this is a vinyl sticker that's stuck on the underside of this, which is a transparent piece of acrylic. So I'm going to flip this round, take that off, take that vinyl off, and then replace it with some black vinyl. I've not done much vinyl replacement in my life. It's not something that like I'm too well rounded in, but I'm confident that I can do that. It is only a square, so it shouldn't be too difficult, and he sent me all the instructions on how to do it. The stools for this thing as well, they also, again, you guessed it, came from a house clearance. And when I looked into these, they were quite expensive stools. They've got a function on them where you can screw these to make them rise or lower, and then you lock it in place like that. So that's going to be good when we're working here, because it's like a nice like standing height kind of table, but it's cool to have some stools on it as well when you just want to rest, and they fit underneath it really nice and perfect. They wasn't designed with those particular stools in mind, but it's almost like it was made for that, because yeah, they fit perfectly there. So this has all been custom made to the specific sizes that I gave Phil. It's also been powder coated after, which is really nice. And then it's got a function where you can loosen these bolts and slide it up a bit higher if it's not tall enough, which right now it's perfect, but it's not gonna be, because I'm gonna have to make an adjustment to this thing, which I didn't really want to do. But basically, I've got to take these wheels off it. Now, I bought these off Amazon. I bought them purposely for this because I wanted some that locked in place perfectly. But what I found is, even when you spend a bit more money on them, you still get wheels that are pretty rickety. Even when you lock them like that, they're locked in place, they still move a little bit. And there's nothing I can really do to stop them from doing that. I don't know why they do it, why they are a little bit rickety. No matter what you do, even when you lock them and you tighten every single piece on them, they still like kind of move like that. Now, I don't want a table that's rickety. I've said this many times in videos. I want something that's sturdy. So unfortunately, I think what I've got to do is take these wheels off and replace it with just some rubber feet. Now, I've got plenty of rubber feet. My dad gets them off the washing machines all the time with like an M10 thread, I believe, and that's what it takes. So I've got to flip this table round, take those wheels off and put some feet on the bottom, which I really didn't want to do. I wanted to have this on wheels so I can maneuver it around, but at the same time, it's not ridiculously heavy. I can move it around if I need to. I'm not going to be having this thing all over the building willy-nilly or anything like that. It's always going to be generally in this position. So yeah, thankfully it's got some function on it where I can raise it a little bit if it's too low once I put those feet on. And it is a shame, but I will keep all of these wheels just in case I change my mind or if I find some kind of way of making it so that they don't move at all. But I don't want to be putting toys on this and things and trying to film and playing Warhammer and then it's rickety. It's ricketing like that and things are falling off and getting broken. It's just not worth it. So it's going to be an awesome place to work at. Yeah, it just needs to be sturdy. It's also got this here, which is room for a shelf, just somewhere to throw this wire, because there's a wire that lights this thing up, which I'm going to attach to an extension. I can also put like batteries and tools and just throw things in there when we're working at it. But yeah, a few little adjustments that need to be made to this thing, but other than that, it's so perfect and I'm so happy with it, and I can't wait to start working on this thing. So what I'm going to do, not now, in the next little bit of the video, I'm going to flip this thing round, which is the reason why I didn't screw this in yet as well. Not only do I need to change the vinyl on it, but I also didn't want to drill into this just yet, which I won't be doing it anyway. I'll get Dave or Jace or one of my friends that's actually a good engineer to do it. But yeah, I've got to take that off, flip this thing round and then replace these wheels with some feet, which, like I said, I'm not going to do now because I've got some stuff to do, but the next part of the video will be me doing that. So what I want to do now is use this table now that I've got it to this height and I've got it all secured and a lot less wobbly, is I want to show you some of the pickups that I've got over the last few months. If you've been watching this channel over the last month or so, you will have known that I've been to so many different events. I've been to London twice. At this point, I will have been to Birmingham twice because I've got the UK Game Expo this weekend. I've been to HorrorCon, so many different places, so many different events, and I picked up some amazing stuff, and a lot of it I've not had a chance to really showcase on camera yet. So what I want to do is kind of work in reverse and show you the most recent thing that I picked up, which was at HorrorCon UK. So I got this off my friend Dario that I know from the vintage toy fairs. I was quite surprised to see him at HorrorCon. I know most of the traders that come to HorrorCon, and it's not very often that you get someone there selling vintage toys. So when I saw Dario was there, you know that I had to check out his stall and give it a good browse. And I didn't even really have to look that far because this was like right at the back, displayed pretty high. It caught my attention straight away. And it's this Evangelion Perfect Grade Bandai kit. So this is very much like a Gunpla kit, and I've not had a chance to do too much research on this thing. Like I said, me doing all these events, I've been picking up this cool stuff. I've not even really had a chance to enjoy it yet. I'm really happy that once this video's out, all those events will be done and I can start enjoying being in this studio, making toys in here, working, and just like enjoying some of the model kits and some of the stuff that I've bought over the past few weeks, because I've really just not had the chance yet. So I don't think this is exactly like a Gunpla kit, and the reason I say that is because inside, in that, when you're watching the TV series, this always comes up at the start of each episode, but it's got like a weird frame inside, which kind of shows me how big this thing is going to be, and no Gunpla kit I've ever used has had this. But I am going to build this. I might even build it on a live stream. I'm thinking about doing some live streams on YouTube soon, so maybe I'll even build this as a live stream. But it's got everything with this thing, and it's quite an expensive kit normally. I gave Dario £60 for this. That's what he wanted. I didn't knock him down or anything like that. I gave him what he wanted. And when I was looking online, these things seem to go for like anything from £100 up, so really, really happy to get it at such a good price. Before I get into the ToyCon UK stuff, because that's the majority of the things that I've not showed on camera yet, and also something that includes the giveaway, which I'm going to get to shortly, I wanted to show you this. So this was drawn by my friend Dan Does. He gave me this at Salute, and he's an awesome artist, and this was just in his notepad. He just had like a notebook full of drawings, and he just pulled one out and gave it me. He said I could pick which one I wanted, and I liked this one because it had big eyeballs on it and teeth, very reminiscent of the kind of gross out toys that I liked from the 80s and the 90s, trash bag bunch style, and he said I could have this. And I'm always in awe of people who can just get a sketchbook and fill every single page with something awesome, and this was all done in biro, so it took me a while to find the right size frame for it because this was just in his notepad, like I said, and he pulled it out and it was like a weird size. You couldn't get an exact size frame for it. So I went to B&M Bargains the other day with Dave and I found a frame that was kind of like the right size. I sprayed the backing on it black and I think it looks really nice, so I'm going to find a home for this in the studio a little bit later. But yeah, just wanted to show it because I think that's awesome. So shouts to Dan Does on this, absolutely smashed it. So a couple of weeks after Salute and a couple of weeks before HorrorCon, we had ToyCon UK down in London. Literally one of my favourite events of the year. Absolutely love ToyCon, always love going and chopping it up with all the different artists and stuff and meeting everyone there, making new friends, catching up with old ones. And while I was there, I obviously picked up some awesome stuff like I do every year. So what I'm going to do now is show you some of the stuff that I came across. So the first table that I went to straight away, whenever you go to ToyCon, there's always a mad rush when the doors open of people piling in, all trying to get the exclusive sofubi toys, and that's all modern stuff by modern day designers that make really high-end, exclusive, low-run sofubi vinyl figures. But the place that I went to straight away was the stall of my friend Ancient Mariner. So if you've watched any of my videos over the past couple of years, you will have probably seen me hook up with the Ancient Mariner at least once. I'm always blown away by the stuff that he pulls out, and I always come back with some absolute gold. So when I heard that he were going to have a stall this year at ToyCon UK, something that he never does, not only at ToyCon, just in general, this guy never stalls out. He only really does private auctions and eBay and like private dealing and stuff. So you know that as soon as I got there, that's the first table that I went to, and I wasn't disappointed. Check this thing. Well, in fact, I'll show you the small stuff that I picked up first over the weekend, and then I'll show you the big prize piece at the end. So some of the small bits that I picked up off his table was this really nice Mirror Man thing. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like a little wallet that kids keep their money in or something like that. And the reason I picked this up, even though he had a stall full of awesome little pieces like this, is because you just never really see that much Mirror Man merchandise. So I don't really know what this is. It's got a little Mirror Man face there, and then if you open it up, it's got like a little Mirror Man picture there that's slightly ripped, and a little pouch and stuff like that, and it's got a little press stud. Don't really know what it is, but it's vintage and it's Mirror Man, so I was all over this, and he just gave me that. He just gave me that because he's a legend. Something else that he gave me as well was this Ray Dean like postcard book. Again, I don't really know what this is supposed to be used for. Maybe like back in the day in Japan, you would go around collecting postcards and things, and this was just a place to put them in, kind of like we used to do with our sticker books. I know that they do stuff like that in Japan, and I have got lots of vintage postcards of like Godzilla and like mech anime TV shows and that kind of thing. So I don't really know what I'm going to use this for. I don't know if I'm just going to put a lot of postcards in it that I've got, or if it's something that I'll carry around with me, because I always like to think of like a practical use for this stuff in this day and age. So I get given a lot of business cards and stickers and like cool little pieces of ephemera when I'm out at these different conventions and stuff. So I might carry this in my bag with me and just put that small stuff in that can get bent when I just put it in my pocket. These two he had on for £10 each, and he gave them me both for £10. He was just giving stuff away at this event. It's the Ancient Mariner. He's got so much stuff, he's just glad to see the back of it a lot of the time. But these I couldn't resist. I saw him on his table amongst all the other awesome stuff on there, and I had to grab these. So these aren't too vintage. I think these are like early 2000s, and I don't know if they're Medicom or something like that. Kamen Rider 1 and Kamen Rider 2, they've both got their antennas. This Kamen Rider has got the ends of them snapped off ever so slightly, but that doesn't matter. When you're paying £10 for two of these things, like, you're really not bothered. I can fix them. So again, just two really nice Kamen Riders that I couldn't leave there, courtesy of the Ancient Mariner. This was also something really fun that I got from the Mariner, and it's kind of like a tiny little bot bag of the mech robot from Ideon, which is an old Japanese anime. And I know that they did do in Japan back in the 70s and stuff, like inflatable versions of popular toys, so that if a kid couldn't afford the vinyl or the plastic one, then they could buy an inflatable one as well. So this was just another thing that he gave me for like £10 that was just too good to leave. But the final thing, the prize piece that I got from Mariner, this is something that he had on his stall. As soon as I got there, we wasn't even rolling cameras at this point. I just walked into the building, I saw it straight away, and I said, I want that. And they gave me a really good price. Check this thing. So this is a really big 1984 vintage sofubi by Bandai of Gamora from Ultraman. And as soon as I saw this thing, I was just like, yo, I need that. Can I buy that right now? And so happy with this guy. They also do a Red King in the same size, in the same set. My friend Tom from Pizarro's Pieces recently got that one for his collection, but I really, really like this thing. A cool thing about this as well is this actually belonged to our friend Katrina, who runs the Instagram account and the company The Ugly and the Beautiful, who deals in like rare Japanese and Asian toys and that kind of thing. You might have even seen her in one of the videos that we filmed with Ancient Mariner. So in a short space of time, this Gamora has passed through the hands of quite a few cool people, but I can safely say this is going to be staying with me now. This is going nowhere. This isn't getting traded through any more hands. This is staying in my collection. And it was one of those as well, like when I was walking around with it at the convention, or when it was at the stand, because I was standing with Vega for a lot of the day when it was just down on the floor. So many people were asking about it, so many people wanted to buy it and things, so I'm really glad that I got in there early and purchased this before anyone else. Mariner had some amazing stuff that event. He had some really good things. A few of my friends came on with really nice pieces from his stall, but honestly, out of all of this stuff that he had, I think I came away with the best piece. So very, very happy with this Gamora. This was also a really cool thing that my friend Tiffany brought me. Shouts to Tiffany. Absolutely love Tiff. I've known her years, and she brought me this as a gift. It's from an anime called Trigun. It's Nicholas D. Wolfwood, and I've not seen Trigun for many, many years. I used to watch it back in college at my friend's house. I've never watched it all the way through. I know about Vash the Stampede and a lot of like the iconic scenes and stuff, but this made me actually want to go back and watch that anime again, because I've not seen it for such a long time. And this is made by Revolt Tech, who do really, really high-end Japanese toys. And they come with different hands and heads and that a lot of the time, and lots of different variations of different ways that you can pose them and things, because they've got such good articulation and really good for posing. And all the little different pieces in here, the muzzle flashes, the different hands, the fist hands, the gripping the gun hands and all that kind of thing, the different faces, they're all inside. So shouts to Tiff for that, because that was a really thoughtful gift. She also brought me some posters, which I don't have in here, but yeah, shouts to Tiff every time, because this was such a thoughtful thing to bring me. So moving on now to like custom art toys and that kind of thing. There's a lot of like resin handmade toys and stuff at ToyCon, and I came up with two really nice pieces. One of them was a gift, one of them I bought. Both of them are awesome. I'll show you the one first that I got from my friend Quavedas Toys. So Quavadis, I'm not sure how to pronounce it because he's German. He gave me this. This is a toy of Tetsuo the Iron Man. He knows that I love all that exploitation, Japanese crazy stuff from back in the day, and I reviewed the Unbox Industries Tetsuo Iron Man on this channel before. Just a big fan of it. Not enough merchandise and things gets made. So when I saw that he had a Tetsuo Iron Man figure, obviously on his stall, it drew my attention. And then when he was leaving at the end of the day, he said, I'd like to gift this to you. So I'm not going to take it out of the packaging because I really like the way that it's all presented and put together. But shouts to Quavadis for this, because it's a really, really cool piece. And yeah, anybody that's making Tetsuo toys is awesome in my book. And then this is something else that's absolutely awesome. I did a little bit of a spotlight on his stall while I was at the ToyCon, and these are just so good. You know when you see a toy and you're like, why has this never existed before? Why did nobody else do this previously? I just had to pick one of these up. So this is by Scope, and it's one of his coffin heads. I'm going to open it out of the bag. I've not opened it yet, but yeah, let me just get this thing out. If you didn't see ToyCon UK, that video, then this thing is so dope. I'll use the snippers that I got from Rubicon Models, not the God hands though. I don't use the God hands for bending staples. So this is just a guy that's ridiculously talented. He's a great engineer, he's a great sculptor, and the way that he's thought up these figures is absolutely genius. So you've got a monster like this standing there. It's a very nice height as well, very much in the scale of figures that I like, very 80s and 90s. And you turn his face like this, and he has two different faces inside this coffin. What an ingenious idea, man. I was talking to Faco, another one of my designer toy friends that you will have seen in my videos before while we was at ToyCon, and he was saying that if these were made in the 80s, you just know that one of those would be a hologram. You would have the sculpted face like that, and then you would turn it around and there would be a hologram face. I'm so in awe of these figures, I'm so in love with them, and he does like a series of them. There's a few different characters in this set, so next time I see him, I'm definitely going to pick up another one of these. The prices of these things as well are very reasonable. This thing was like £45 if I remember. His bigger stuff was like £75. Really, really cheap, and it wouldn't surprise me if the prices of his stuff goes up in the near future, because he obviously spends a long time making these. They're all hand painted and stuff, and I'm absolutely in love with them. I can't wait to get some more. I'll put the link to his Instagram down in the description of this video so that you can go check his Instagram out, and yeah, go hit him up. Maybe you can pick one of these up for yourself, because if you're into 80s and 90s stuff and you like handmade toys and gross out toys and anything in that like Boglins, Madballs kind of territory, then this is something that wouldn't look out of place on any of those kind of toy shelves. So as you know, a couple of weeks ago I was at ToyCon UK, and while I was there, as I said, I spent a lot of time at the Vega Relics stand, because not only is Vega a good friend of mine and it's good to catch up with him, it's also the place where we were selling Turgo. So before I get to the pickup, I just want to talk a little bit about Turgo first of all. So as you'll know, if you've been following this little situation that I've got going on, this little sofubi making creation venture that I've been on with Vega, recently I created my own sofubi. I went out to Italy to paint them. They was made out in China, and it's been an amazing experience, and the reception to them has been incredible. So yeah, basically the ones that we took to ToyCon sold out, and then a couple of weeks later I dropped them online and they've also all sold out now. So I've been getting people tagging me on Instagram since last night, letting me know that they've turned up at their house. So if you've ordered one and it's not with you yet, just know that it's in transit, it's on its way to your house, and I can't wait to see it in your collection. So once again, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that supported this venture. This is obviously not the last time that you're going to see Turgo. There will be some releases in the future, but I do want to concentrate now on some other characters. I've got different characters that I want to create. This was the first thing that I ever sculpted, and that's the thing that we ended up turning into like the toy release and the sofubi. But I've got lots of other creations, including Crush Room, which I really want to get out in the future. So after these events, after this event that I'm going to be doing this weekend, I'm going to spend a lot more time in here learning how to cast resin and pour silicone and that kind of thing. So stay tuned. Keep watching this space, because Turgo is not the only Slimehouse toy release that's ever going to be. There's quite a few that I've got in my head, and ones that are half created or already created that I want to get out there eventually. So back to talking about ToyCon. As I said, for that weekend I spent a lot of time at the Vega Relics stand, and next to us was a stand called Avocado Shop. So these are some guys that deal with getting exclusive toys over from the Far East, Taiwan and that kind of thing, and I got talking to him, and his name was Theo actually, which is awesome because you don't meet too many Theos, and he said that he watches Slimehouse TV and asked me if I'd be up for doing a giveaway on here, doing like a giveaway and an unboxing kind of thing on the channel. And when he showed me what toys they were, I said absolutely, I would love to do that. So yeah, he gave me 2 boxes of these. I'm going to be unboxing 1 box now, and then I'm also going to be giving a box away to one of you lot. I'll let you know at the end of the video how you can be in with a chance of winning this box. But yeah, I'll just show you what they are. Now these are the Cuphead Don't Deal with the Devil Please Dot and Studio MDHR Inc. collaboration blind boxes. So in here you get seven different characters from Cuphead. You get Cuphead and Mugman, which I think are like a double pack, and then you get all these other characters: Grim Matchstick, Hildeberg, the Root Pack, Baroness von Bonbon, Peppy the Clown, and then a secret one, which looks like the guy with the dice head. I forget his name. He's the guy that runs the casino that Cuphead and Mugman end up spending all their money at, and effectively getting the devil after him. And I'm a big fan of this game and the art style. I did give up playing the game like halfway through the second island because it was just boss fight after boss fight. And boss fights are actually like my least favourite part of playing the game. I like the side scrollers and the running and gunning and that kind of thing. But when it just came to boss fight after boss fight, I had to give up. Life's too short and life's too stressful. Life's stressful enough without me stressing over a game that you have to play 1,000 times to beat a boss. In my case anyway, because I'm not amazing at the game. But I'm a big fan of the art style. I really do like this game, Cuphead. And I've even done some like fan art for it and stuff in the past. So when he said, do you want to like do an unboxing and a giveaway on your channel and stuff, I was like, absolutely, I would love to do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unbox one of these. I'm going to unbox the bashed up one, the one that's got the most wear and tear on the box. I'll let you guys have the nice one. And then I'll catch up with you at the end for a review, show you all the different characters that are inside it, and then of course let you know how you can be in with a chance of winning one for yourself. So there they are, man, all 6 of them. And at first I did say that there were 7. I'm a bit confused because I felt like they let you know what figures were in the box, and then there was like one chase one, which was a secret, which looked like the dice enemy from the game. I'll show you what I mean. On here, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a secret one. So the only thing it can be is that in these boxes, sometimes they have one less of one of these, and instead you get the dice chase variant, this guy. So, who knows? Maybe the one that I send out to you will even have the dice variant in, and you'll have like a super exclusive one. But just talking a little bit about the figures as well themselves, the ones that we've got, they are very exclusive on their own. So when I was talking to Avocado Shop, they were saying, at least officially, they're the only company in England that are selling these at the minute. And the people that put these together, Please Dot and Studio MDHR Inc., they got together and spent a long time making these things, like well over a year, developing them, going back and forth with the factory to get them to a point that they were happy with them, and I can completely see why, because these are so nicely made. They've got elements about them that are like hard designer toy, then you've got like some rubbery elements, some stuff that's a bit more durable for some of the smaller parts so that they don't snap. Like on Hildeberg, her arms, because they're so thin, they're made out of like a rubber so that they don't snap, and they're really nice and durable. This one is so nice, this Baroness von Bonbon. She has like a removable candy cane, and she's got like a shine to her that makes it look like she's almost made from like wet jelly, like wet blancmange. So yeah, really nice figures overall, just made with such care and such quality. You can just tell the difference between something like this and then something that's cheaply made. I also really like that Cuphead and Mugman were both in the same box, so they didn't skimp out by putting each one in a separate case. They both come in one box together, and that they're stood on these little poker chips, but you can remove them from them as well if you just want them stood on their own. But I do love the art style, as I said. I love the way that these guys are drawn in that rubber hose style. I know it's a girl who is like the main art designer behind them. She's awesome. I'm a big fan of her style, and it's really nice that they've gone with her style for these toys. They haven't tried to make them into a more of an action figure style, or tried to like Funko Pop them and make them a bit too simple or anything like that. How they look here is exactly how they look in the game. They've transferred that cartoon style so well to these 3D sculpts, and yeah, they've done an absolute smashing job on them, and I think they're awesome. So in terms of how you can win one of these, like I said, I've got a whole box of these that I'm going to post out. Just a whole box I'm going to send to one person. I'm not going to mess about like sending them out individually or anything like that. All I want you to do to be in with a chance of winning one of these is, obviously, you've got to like this video and make sure that you subscribe to my channel. But all I need you to do is let me know, has there ever been a game that you've tried to complete, but no matter how hard you try, you've just not been able to do it? Maybe you got to the last level and never could beat the final boss. Maybe you were like me and gave up halfway through. Do you know what I mean? I can't be the only one that thinks this is such a hard game, but just let me know down below in the comments a game that you thought was really challenging and one that you never quite finished. Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure that you like this video and you subscribe to the channel, and in the next video that I do, I will announce the winner of it. If you live outside the country, all I ask is that you pay for the postage, because this thing's going to cost like 10-20 quid just to send it in England. So if you live outside the country, all I ask is that you cover postage. But if you want to be in with a chance of winning, just do that what I just said. I'll pick one of the names at random, and who knows, you could be one of the people that's owning one of these awesome exclusive sets yourself very soon. But of course I want to say a massive thank you to Avocado Store for sending me a set of these, well sending me 2 sets so that I can give one away. I'll put the link to their shop down in the description below. I know they're doing the rounds of lots of different conventions at the minute, so if you go on their website or keep up to date on their Instagram, they might even be at a convention near you soon. I know that they were just at Comic Con down in London and stuff, but big fan of what they're doing. Really nice guy Theo, not just because of his name, really nice guy and very generous of him to send me 2 boxes of these, one to keep and one to give away. So yeah man, just want to say a big shouts to Avocado Store, really do appreciate it. So I reckon that's all we've got time for in today's episode, but if you did enjoy this video today, please don't forget to give it a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Every like and comment and interaction on a video and every subscription to a channel like mine really helps them grow and keeps them reaching a bigger audience every week, so it's all very much appreciated. Speaking of helping the channel as well, there's a link down below to join my Patreon, which really helps fund future creative projects and filming trips. You'll also find links down below to all of the artists and toy companies that are featured in today's video, as well as anyone else that's been mentioned as well, so make sure you go and show them some love. I felt like it were a bit of a chilled episode this week, just me having a tinker in the studio and showing you some of my recent pickups, but to be honest, after so many weeks and months of covering events, it's nice to be able to spend some time in the studio now and just enjoy some of the stuff that I've picked up and concentrate on working on my own independent toy releases. So as always, I'm going to love you and leave you. Much respect for checking out this video today. Really hope to catch you in the next one, which will probably be the UK Game Expo, but until then, I'm Theo Kane, this is Slimehouse TV, and I'm gone. Pow!